Welcome to Martha Runs the World, a podcast with a new take on running, fitness, and all things health-oriented. I'm Martha Hughes, your host, and each week I present a new topic that is of interest to all runners. Hi, and welcome to episode 205 of Martha Runs the World. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I really appreciate it. This episode is all about the upcoming Paris Olympics, and it's all about the track and the marathon of the Olympics. I'm only going to concentrate on the track, the running, and the marathon events. I'm going to talk about only just the running only, not the hurdling. The hurdling is interesting and fascinates me a lot because I think it's an incredible sport. Just the thought of lifting your legs over those hurdles is just is just so amazing that they can do that. But I'm not going to talk about it because it just doesn't really fit into the program. And all the field events, they're kind of cool, but no, they also don't fit into the program. And I'm going to talk about a little bit of annoyance with some of the coverage of the events as well in the qualifying races. After I talk about the races, I was able to watch all of the final races anyway. Forgive me, I'm getting a slight cold. I don't feel bad. I'm just a little nasally. And so my voice isn't as up to par as it usually is. It's going to be a fun Olympics. I don't always, and I haven't always watched the Olympics, but this year I don't know why, but I'm really into it. There are so many great running programs, not just American programs, but from around the world, that this year in Paris is going to be spectacular as far as running goes. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. The Olympics start on July 26th, and they run for 2 weeks. You can watch them on NBC. If you want to stream them, you can stream them on Peacock. I don't have anything, I don't get anything from them. This is all just free, just to let you know. And it doesn't cost that much. I think it's under $10 for a month or something like that. But I'm streaming Peacock for the Olympics so that I can watch the events. And then once the events are over, I will cancel my streaming. Most of what I'm going to talk about is Americans because, unfortunately, there isn't a lot of information on non-American runners. I have 2 exceptions after the events, the final events that I'm going to talk about in the Olympics. When the Olympics happen, and I do talk about them, then I'll talk about all the runners, not just the Americans. I'm going to start with the 100 meters, and I'll go on to the marathon. And all of the events I'm going to talk about are from the Eugene finals, they get the top 3 finalists in each of the final races go to the Olympics. Just to clarify, I'm sorry I didn't clarify that at first. All right, in the 100 meters, the women's 100 meters, the 3 finalists are Sha'Carri Richardson, Melissa Jefferson, and Twanisha Terry. And Richardson got a season best in her time of 10.71 seconds. Melissa Jefferson got a personal best of 10.80 seconds, and Twanisha Terry got a season best of 10.89 seconds. So they're all records of some sort. Paris will be a redemption for Richardson as she was suspended from Tokyo in 2020 for using a banned substance, cannabis. Now, whether you agree with it or don't agree with it, it's still banned. So I'm not going to say my opinion, it's just banned. But I'm really glad she bounced back in great form. She will not be running in the women's 200 meter as she placed 4th in the final qualifying race. So unfortunately, she didn't place well enough in the 200 meter. Men's 100 meter finals, Noah Lyles had a personal best of 9.83 seconds. Kenny Bednarek, a personal best of 9.87 seconds. And Fred Curley, a time of 9.88 seconds. Lyles is going to run in both the 100 meter and 200 meter races. He's the strongest at 200 meters, but it will still be terrific to see how he does in both races. Now, in the 200 meters, the women's 200 meter finals, Gabby Thomas at 21.81 seconds, Brittany Brown at 21.90 seconds, and that was a personal best for her. Mackenzie Long at 21.91 seconds. Thomas is one of my favorite sprinters. This is her best event at the 200 meters. She smoked the whole field in the 200 meters in the final race in Eugene. It was an amazing race. She just powered through and just won it with a smile on her face. She's so fun to watch. In the men's 200 meters finals, Noah Lyles got a meet record of 19.53 seconds. Kenny Bednarek got a personal best of 19.69 seconds. And Ariane Knighton got a season best of 19.77 seconds. In the 400 meters, the women's 400 meter finals, Kendall Ellis got a personal best of 49.46 seconds. Aaliyah Butler got a personal best of 49.71 seconds. Alexis Holmes got a personal best of 49.78 seconds. And let me say, it was tough going, too, in these races. They were held at night, but it was still warm out. It was around 80 to 90 degrees out at night. So these were not easy conditions to be running in. Ellis placed gold in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics in the 4x400 meter relay. She's really strong in the 400 meters, and this could be her year to get gold in her personal race of the 400 meter. In the men's 400 meter final, Quincy Hall had a personal best of 44.17 seconds. Michael Norman, 44.41 seconds, and Chris Bailey had a personal best of 44.42 seconds. Hall competes in the 44-meter and the 44-meter hurdles. He's very strong in both. He could do well in both as well in Paris. In the 800 meters, the women's 800-meter final, Nia Akins did a personal best of 1 minute 51.36 seconds. Allie Wilson did a season best 1 minute 58.32 seconds. Juliet Whitaker did a personal best of 1 minute and 58.45 seconds. Akins turned pro in 2020 and has been winning the 800 meter distances since then. She has really good chances to win in Paris. The men's 800 meter finals, Bryce Hoppel did a meet record of 1 minute 42.76 seconds. Hobbs Kessler did a personal best of 1 minute 43.64 seconds. And Brandon Miller did 1 minute and 43.97 seconds. And Hoppel just took over this race. When he got in front, he just kept getting farther and farther in front of everyone. He was really spectacular to watch. In the 1500 meters finals, the women's 1500 meter final, Nikki Hiltz won the race with 3 minutes 55.33 seconds. Emily Mackey had 3 minutes 55.90 seconds. Ellie St. Pierre came in third at 3 minutes 55.99 seconds. Hiltz placed second in the 2024 World Athletic Indoor Championships in Glasgow, so Nikki already has experience with the best in the world. The men's 1500 meter final, Cole Hawker had a personal best with 3 minutes 30.59 seconds. That was also a meet record, by the way. Yared Nuguse had a season best of 3 minutes 30.86 seconds, and Hob Kessler had a personal best of 3 minutes 31.53 seconds. Hawker faces stiff competition in the 1500 meter, but he won silver at the 2024 World Athletics Indoor Championships in Glasgow, so he'll be ready for it. In the 5,000 meters finals, the women's 5,000 meter final, Elle St. Pierre had a meet record of 14 minutes, 40.34 seconds. Elise Cranny had a season best of 14 minutes, 40.36 seconds, and Carissa Schweitzer had a season best of 14 minutes and 45.12 seconds. St. Pierre finished first in the 3,000-meter race in the 2024 World Athletics Indoor Championships in Glasgow and has moved over to the 5,000 meters for the Olympics. In the men's 5,000-meter final, Grant Fisher had finished first with a race time of 13 minutes, 8.85 seconds. Abdihamid Noor finished second with 13 minutes and 9.1 seconds. And Parker Wolf finished with third with 13 minutes and 10.75 seconds. Fisher set an American record for the indoor 2-mile of 8 minutes, 3.62 seconds at the Millrose Games. I can't wait to watch him in Paris. He also finished first in the 10,000-meter race, which I'll talk about in a minute. In the 10,000-meter finals, in the women's, Wendy Kaladi finished first with 31 minutes, 41.7 seconds. Parker Valby finished second with 31 minutes, 41.56 seconds, and Carissa Schweitzer finished third with 31 minutes, 41.56 seconds. Kaladi was born in Eritrea, and she claimed asylum in the U.S. in July 2014. In her college career, she finished in the top 3 in most of her races. In this qualifying race, she came from behind in a very exciting finish to come in first. It was really, really a great race. In the men's 10,000-meter final, Grant Fisher, as I said previously, finished first at 27 minutes, 49.47 seconds. Woody Kincaid came in second at 27 minutes, 50.74 seconds, and Nicholas Young finished third at 27 minutes, 52.40 seconds. And those are really the races that happened over the last 10 days at Eugene in the qualifying races for the Olympics. Those are the ones that I watched, and those are the ones that are relevant to the show. And I loved watching those. That was very exciting, and that got me in the mood for the Olympics. That got me thinking about the Olympics and why I haven't watched them and why I do watch them. Now, there's also, and I won't be talking about that briefly, there's also a couple non-Americans I want to mention. I get a little frustrated by the difficulty of watching non-American races, but at least we will be able to see non-Americans race in the Olympics themselves. My favorite runner who is not American, and that is Jakob Ingebrigtsen. He is Norwegian. He's 23, and he's going to be racing in the 1,500 meter. He should win. He really should. He raced in Japan in 2020. He is an incredible runner. He holds the world record for indoor 1,500 meter and 2,000 meter. He took home Olympic gold in the 1,500 meter from the Tokyo Games. His biggest rival is Josh Kerr from Great Britain, and maybe Hobbs Kessler or Cole Hawker, but he is he's in a class by himself. He's going to take the 1,500 meter gold. I know he is. He's just amazing. He really, really is an amazing runner, so look out for him. And Eliud Kipchoge is going to be running the marathon again, so look out for him. And besides those two, the American men's and women's marathoners who are going to be in the Olympics are, on the men's side, Connor Mance, Clayton Young, and Mark Steeler. On the women's side, Fiona O'Keefe, Emily Sisson, and Dakota Lindworm. Now, the marathon itself, the course, is going to start at Paris City Hall and finish at the Esplanade des Invalides. My French is really rusty right now. It follows the Seine for a while and then it heads west to the Chateau de Versailles, then turns back towards Paris, following the Seine and finishing up on the Esplanade. Now, it's going to be fun to watch. That and the track events are really the only thing I'm going to watch. But I get very frustrated about a couple of things. Here I'm going to talk about what I was frustrated about over watching the final events on NBC, or the qualifying finals on NBC. I get frustrated when it's in a race and they turn away from that race showing field events. No one cares about the hammer throw. No one cares about the hammer throw. No one cares about the discus throw. There was one race that was, I forgot, I think it was the 5,000, that they turned away from it. They went to a discus throw, and then all of a sudden, all the leaders of the race had changed, and we didn't even get to see that. We didn't get to see the leader taking control of the whole race. We didn't get to see any of that. That was a really important part of the race, and we missed it because you turned to a discus thrower. Show that at midnight or something. Nobody cares. Seriously. Also, no one cares about a post of America's Got Talent. They acted like that this guy was a big celebrity, that everybody loved him, that everyone cared about him. They had this guy on for an interview, and he was like this big giant star, and it's like, well, whoop-de-doo. Who cares? Who cares? I don't even remember his name. I don't watch that show. I watch real sports. I mean, sure, it's a talent show, and this guy's a host, but I don't know who he is. I don't care who he is. They put the race in a little bitty box to watch, and him in a great big box, as if I care who he is. I don't. Get back to the race, get him off, get back to the race, call the race, and have him off after the race. Have him on after the race for a few minutes. If you're going to have him at all, because I don't care who he is. I don't know who he is. I don't care who he is. I know you're promoting your TV show, but do that some other time. NBC does this type of stuff all the time. They do this during. I know they're not the only ones who do this. I know other TV stations do that. I know this is a thing that they like to do. They like to promote their stars and their guests and everything like that. I know other stations do it too. They do it during hockey playoffs and stuff like that. They'll point to a star in the crowd, and we're supposed to know who they are. It's like, who? Who's that? I know it's done all the time. I understand that. I really miss the old time coverage that used to be on ABC. When ABC did the Olympics and it was Jim McKay, any of you old timers remember when Jim McKay was the host? Oh my goodness. That was amazing coverage. That was great coverage. I loved that coverage. That was really, really cool. Other than that, I think they did an okay job. I liked the guest hosts who were there who knew something about the sport, who could add to the sport. Kara Goucher was one of the guest hosts who could comment about a race she actually raced in, so that was kind of fun. I did appreciate that, and I appreciate if they have people on who know something about the sport. If you don't know anything about the sport, why are you there? Seriously. But it was fun watching it, and I'm glad that I'm all excited about it now. All right, so I will I will also do a show after the Olympics to talk about the events, talk about the winners, and talk about what I liked about it and what I didn't like about it, and we'll just go over everything after the Olympics and just do a thorough review of the running events. I won't talk about breakdancing or skateboarding. I don't know why they're there. They have as much relevance as that ribbon dance thing they used to have in gymnastics. Why was that there? I don't know. No one knows. All right. I had an amazing trail run and hike this weekend. I went 10 miles in the headlands and over the Golden Gate Bridge and had a great time doing it. Oh my goodness. And you know what the very bestest part of it was? I had no shoulder pain. None. Zero. My shoulder didn't hurt at all. It's like, wow. And I didn't even think about it till I was like in mile 6. I said to myself, my shoulder hasn't hurt at all. And for a lot of my runs, my shoulders started hurting like after the second or third mile. So this was kind of cool. And I thought to myself, okay, well, maybe it's just today. So I'm going to do a couple runs. I'm going to go out and run this afternoon and see how it feels. And maybe it's just getting stronger now because I have been doing my exercises. I have been getting a little stronger. So maybe it's all right. Maybe it's just getting used to running and getting used to the workout. So hopefully I'll cross my fingers over that. But it was a wonderful day. When I first started up there about 8 o'clock, it was foggy and overcast, but the fog just disappeared and it turned into a really, really nice day. I would say in the late 60s, around 70. So it was perfect weather. And I felt strong. I didn't feel tired. I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel overworked. I would say, and there were a lot of people out there because it was a big weekend. It was Pride weekend. So there were a lot of visitors in town, but everyone was so friendly and nice and just very thoughtful. And it was just a really, really good day. Just had a wonderful, wonderful time up there. I was so happy to be up there. I was really, really happy to be up and doing my thing. I did probably hike more than I ran, but I'm still a little nervous to run on the single track, but I run on the fire roads just fine. So that was not a problem. And then I decided I'd walk over the bridge and catch the Muni bus home. That was the only part that wasn't that much fun because it was so crowded. And of course it was crowded. It's a big weekend, lots of people. And see, on the weekends, the Golden Gate Bridge has, as on the one side, the west side is for bikes and the east side is for pedestrians. And I guess some people don't know how to read because there were lots of bikes on the west side. It's like, dudes, it's crowded. Why are you riding your bike here? And if they just don't care and they want to ride on the west side to get the views, then don't bring your bike. Don't be an idiot. Please. When you travel to somewhere, don't be that kind of a tourist that you don't care about rules. You don't think the rules apply to you. You think you can just break the rules and do whatever you want. It doesn't really work that way. And you just wind up looking like a jerk or worse. And I try to be a good traveler when I go someplace. I try to follow the rules the place that the city or the state or the country has. I don't want to look like that kind of a person. And there were lots of people who look like that kind of person. And it's not an American thing. It's lots of people from other countries were doing it. So it isn't just Americans. People from all countries act badly. There are jerks all over the world, aren't there? Yes, there are. Okay, well, I'm going to stop rambling here. I was very happy I finished that. Finished all 10 miles, and it was a very, very lovely day. And that is that. Now I need to get myself motivated and get out and go for a nice 6 miler a little later, in a couple hours. I'll go out. All right. Well, that is it. And thank you so much for joining me. Everything is on the website at martharunstheworld.com. And if you want to email me, the email is martharunstheworld@gmail.com. And thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. And until next week, let's tie up our shoelaces and go for a run.